Hey guys, welcome to Star Sign Horoscopes. I am your astrologer, Jamie Magee, and today we are going to be taking a look at the astrology for June 3rd through the 9th. I do hope you guys are having a great week out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. It definitely means a lot to me. Okay, so let's talk about the week ahead. Now, we do not have a lot of transits this week, but I do feel like these are always the weeks that sort of sneak up on us or catch us a little bit off guard. It's kind of like that phase right after a big party or a big event or the end of the season. When you're in that cleanup stage, packing up, looking back so you can look ahead, it's where our emotions, our revelations, our ideas, our lessons all kind of collide in at once. And we find that we either have to take the information that we have now and go back and revise something, or take the information we have now and run forward. If not, do both of those things at the same time. So, depending on how your party went, this week could feel mild or tense or a little bit of both, depending on what day. All right, so let's talk about why. All right, so this week we have Mercury, who is going to move forward. He's going to station direct. Now, anytime Mercury goes backwards or forwards, to me, it always reminds me of a train shifting tracks. It's a little bumpy, it's a little chaotic, but once you start flowing, everything, unfolds the way it should. We just have to get through that bumpy little bit of communication or that little bit of a chaotic feeling as it moves directions. So kind of be on the lookout for that. And this week we also have Saturn, the time master, stationing retrograde, which is the opposite of what Mercury is going to do. So we have forward motion and now we have retrograde motion. Now, Saturn is going to ask you to pause and reflect and think back on actions that you've taken around a particular story that you began in February. He wants you to fortify these things. He wants you to make sure that they are timeless, that they're going to support you in the short term and the long term. Now, this story is something that you're going to work on until October. That's when you're going to be ready to relaunch it. So the urgency is not there, but what could feel frustrating is it's almost like a stall, like everything seems to stop around this story. But knowing that it's stalling so you can go back and revise it and benefit yourself in the long run should be helpful. So I want you to keep that in mind if anything feels like the brakes are hit and you can't go forward anymore. The question is, how can you go forward in the coming months? How can you make yourself stronger to do that? Now, this week, we also have the quarter moon. Now, the quarter moon is that space between the new moon, where we set intentions, and the full moon, where we start to see the blossoms and the blooms of the intentions that we set. Now, the quarter moon always reminds us of why we wanted to set those intentions and those goals, the goals that we set with the new moon. Now, sometimes this can come with tension, like, you know what? This is why I'm doing this. I can't handle it anymore. This needs to change so everyone feels more comfortable. Sometimes it can come with motivation or inspiration. Either way, the reminder is there for you to pick up those goals and run with them. You don't want them to deflate. You don't want them to disappear. You want to take action when you see the opportunity to work with them this week. All right, guys, with that being said, let's get ready to dive into the signs and talk about how you can work with this energy. Now, please remember to listen to both your sun sign and your rising sign to get a better overall view of how you can work with it. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, Virgo, let's take a look at your week. Now, Virgo, your top three this week are going to be: one, revising structures around your daily routines, your habits, your health, possibly your work, what you do every day. Two, moving forward with plans around learning or sharing knowledge. And three, acting on intentions set around your career, your home work life balance, and definitely how they impact your one-to-one relationships overall. All right, so let's talk about why these are your top three, Virgo. In February, you began laying out structures and foundations around your habits, your work, your health, and your routines overall. Now, you've gone as far as you can with this plan. And so now there's a pause. There's an invitation for you to reflect and put in place sustainable structures so you can continue to grow in new directions. Now, speaking of growing in new directions, you are now ready to move forward with plans that you've had around learning something, teaching something, publishing something, just chasing a new horizon. And honestly, even though you still have a couple of things to work out here, this could be influencing that pause that you're ready to take in your day-to-day routines. You're going to have to pause and reflect. So, because you're not really sure what that new horizon looks like as you get there. Now, I do think that overall, you could have like some breakthrough ideas, out of the box strategies that can help support the changes that you're trying to make overall in that home work life balance and partnerships. So, definitely, I want you to look for those. And I think, with this kind of week, you really want to make sure that you're making the most of your future by supporting and learning from the past decisions that you've made. You're really good at like that transitional phase between what was and what is. So if you see something again, if you're like, you know what, this reminds me of when I went through this, I definitely encourage you to reflect on that, because there's going to be an answer there that's going to help you move forward. All right. I do hope you have a great week, Virgo. I look forward to seeing you next time.